Blackburn Rovers hope to get back to winning ways this weekend when they take on high flyers Middlesbrough. We'll talk about that match and much more on today's show. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. This time looking forward to Blackburn Rovers match up against Middlesbrough at Ewood Park this Sunday, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We've got all here under one roof. Now let's jump into the thick of things and take a look at the match in a little bit more detail. It does take place at Ewood Park up against Middlesbrough. After the two sides met earlier in the season at the old Riverside, ending up as a 1-1 draw, Middlesbrough return with Tony Pulis in charge. Now, last season, Middlesbrough finished in 5th spot in the Championship in a position not far off where they are today in the old Championship. And the key man for me is one of our transfer targets this season. It was Britt Assombalonga. That's right. He might not be number one up top in Pulis' eyes, but he always seems to score bucket loads of goals. Most recently, I think he scored a couple, not the last game, of the game previous. The last time that these two sides met at Ewood Park was a 2-1 win for Rovers on the 1st of March 2016. I'm trying to think who the manager was back then. Was it Lambert? Possibly. Now, over the years, two sides have played each other 132 times in all competitions and in all venues. Rovers winning 58 of them, Middlesbrough winning 38. And we've drawn 36 between each other. Now, let's take a look at my starting lineups. A couple changes from the last game, which was a bit of a horror show, really, for Rovers losing to Reading 2-1 in a 4-3-3 formation. Is something that I don't think we've seen for a long time, at least at Rovers. Which, I don't know, sometimes it's good to mix and match a little bit, but to start with it, was a little bit interesting because we're not used to it, and it definitely didn't work in our favours. But anyway, a couple of changes for me. Raya between the sticks, Bell, Rodwell, Mulgrew and Nyambe should return at right back in my eyes. Evans and Travis should be the two holding midfielders, with Dak, Armstrong, Reed and DG up front. Now, we all saw how Ben Burton played last against Reading, and for a start, leading the line down the middle, he did pretty good. It wasn't phenomenal, but he did look much better than he has done so far. I'm under the impression or the mindset that our season seems to be drifting or fading away to a bit of a nothing season. There are still obviously a lot of points to win, and obviously we want to finish as high as we can in the table, but maybe, just maybe, we should start thinking about playing Brereton a little bit more frequently, because we are hoping to, he is meant to be our future. We spent a lot of money on the lad. Danny Graham is getting on a bit, and you know, I don't know what his role is going to be next season. I still think Danny Graham will be around. Why wouldn't he be? Because he's been pretty decent so far and scoring a butt-ton of goals. But yeah, maybe let's try and focus in and around Brereton. But anyway, doesn't get in my lineup this week because I think it's a huge chance for us to bounce back. And to kind of get the positive vibes back at Ewood Park. Anyway, take a look at the stats now. See, just the one goal in the last game, and none of them affected the top four. Dak still remains top goal scorer, 14 goals. Graham has 11. Mulgrew has 8. Armstrong has 8. Into the discipline, Lenihan has 8. Bennett has 6. Evans has 6. And Smallwood has 6 yellow cards. And into the red, Smallwood and Williams both have red cards. Now, the last 5 fixtures do not read a pretty picture for Rovers. 3 defeats out of 3 in February, absolutely shambolic. Most recently against Reading, 2-1 at the Majeski. Before that, we lost 1-0 at Ewood against high-flying Bristol City, who are up to 5th. Before that, we had the big collapse against Brentford, 2-0 up to lose 5-2. But back in the month that we all loved, it was January, 3-0 winners over Hull at Ewood and 2-0 winners over Ipswich. The next 5 fixtures for Rovers, obviously the next one we're talking about, it is Middlesbrough on Sunday. Then it is Birmingham at St Andrews the following Saturday, the 23rd. Into the month of March, hopefully it's a much better March for us. We will take on Rotherham, who are struggling. They need points. That's down at the New York Stadium. And then we take on our Northwest rivals, Preston and Wigan, in quick succession at Ewood Park on the 9th of February and the 12th of March, how about our opponents? Well, Middlesbrough, they chop and change with our formation, but I'm going to go with a 3-4-3 on this one with Randolph in goal, Fry, Flint and Bath at centre-back. Their other recognised centre-back, Ayala. got sent off last game, so he's out. Friend, Saville, Mikel and Schotten in a 4-man midfield. Wing, Hugel and Johnny Howson up in supporting the attack. Quick look at the stats. There you go. Assombalonga, 11 goals this season. He doesn't really get the start. He is used more as an impact player off the bench. Heigl has 7, Fletcher has 4, and Taverner has 4. As for the yellows, Clayton has 9 yellows, Ayala has 8, Saville has 7, and Schotten has 5. And to the Reds, Ayala has a red, obviously, last time out, and Besic has also got a red. He got sent off when the two sides met at the Riverside in the 1-1 draw. Last 5 fixtures for Borough looked like this. Most recently, they did lose to Sheffield United at Bramall Lane 1-0. Before that, they drew with Leeds 1-1 at the Riverside. Before that, though, they did lose to Newport County in the FA Cup. That was a bit of a surprise one, 2-0. Before that, they lost to, sorry, I'm all over the place. They won against West Brom at the Hawthorns. And all the way back, they drew once again with Newport at the Riverside. So, a little bit inconsistent form, perhaps. Not really been the best month of Feb for them either. But we'll have a look at the form books in a minute. Anyway, the next 5 fixtures for Borough look like this. Rovers, obviously, this weekend. Then it's QPR, Saturday, 23rd of Feb at the Riverside. Then it is Wigan at the DW in the 2nd of March. Then they take on Brentford back at Riverside. And they'll wrap it up against Preston North End at the Riverside on the 13th of March. Here we go. The last 6 home games for Rovers look like this. Lost against Bristol City, beat Hull, beat Ipswich, drew with Newcastle, obviously lost penalties, beat West Brom, lost against Norwich. So it's a little hodgepodge as well, a little 50-50. As for Middlesbrough's last 6 away games, lost to Sheffield United, lost to Newport, beat West Brom, beat Birmingham, drew with Derby, and they beat with Reading, which we couldn't do yesterday at the Majeski. So when at least losing 2 at the last 6 away games in all competitions for Borough. Pretty good form as well. Last 6 appearances between the two sides in all competitions. Obviously, we drew last time out at the Riverside 1-1. We beat, we mentioned it earlier, we beat Middlesbrough the last time that these two sides met at Ewood Park. 2-1 win. And then before that, 4 draws on the spin. 1-1, 0-0, 1-1 and 0-0. Quick look at some of the whoscored.com characteristics of the two sides. I'm going to let you just pause the screen right here and you can take in what you will because I'm gobbling up a lot of time chatting. Anyway, quick look at the form books. Here we go. Obviously, this is the overall form, both home and away. Rovers sit 7th, Middlesbrough sit 9th. Rovers' last 3 is absolutely terrible. Will probably be bottom of the pops. Look at QPR though, bottom of the table. Haven't won in forever. This is the home form book for you. We're looking at Rovers in 10th spot here. Obviously, last result not great, but before that, 3 wins on the spin at Ewood. And a couple of little blips there. But what we really want to focus on is Middlesbrough's away form. Looks pretty positive as well. Only lost 2 at the last 6 on their travels. In the Championship, I think this is the Championship only. Anyway, what's going on this weekend as well in the Championship? A lot of games going on. A lot of games not taking place due to FA Cup action. We're on Sunday. The leaders, which are Leeds. I don't think they're in action, but Sheffield United can win. They're up against Reading at the Bramall Lane. Norwich also in action up against Bolton. Preston up against Nottingham Forest. Rotherham against Sheffield Wednesday. Ipswich, the bottom club, up against Stoke. Villa up against West Brom. That's a bit tasty. And then some midweek games. QPR, West Brom, Derby County against Millwall. This is what the table looks like with Leeds currently flying high. Norwich are in 2nd, just 1 point behind them. Sheffield United breathing down their necks in 3rd. West Brom 4th. Bristol City 5th. And this week's opponents, Middlesbrough, are in 6th. The bottom 3 clubs are Ipswich, Bolton and Rotherham. Reading are breathing a little easier today after they get themselves out of drops. So as for Rovers, it's a 14th spot. A win for us, though, this weekend could see us rise as high as 8th, and then we'll all be on the happy clappy bandwagon again and start singing everyone's praises, and the playoff talk will be back on the cards. But realistically, let's just focus on the next game. Right now, it's all about Borough. Borough. Whatever happens after that, we'll see what happens after that. Right now, Borough. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the stats. Top goal scorer is Billy Sharp with 22 goals on his locker. Pookie has 21. Tammy Abraham has 20. Shay Adams has 19. And Neil Maupay or Mopay in 5th with 8 goals. As for the assists, a Leeds man tops pops here with Pablo Hernandez, 11 assists. Lucas Jakakowicz has 10 for Birmingham. So does Saeed Bayram. He's got 10. Conor Hoonahane has 9 and Jota has 9. So 2 key assist makers in Jakakowicz and Jota for Birmingham. They're on our horizon as Well, okay, so you heard a little bit what I have to say about the match. Now what you really want to hear is what the opposition fans have got up their sleeves. And we're joined once again by John Gaunt, who is a Middlesbrough supporter, diehard. He was here the last time we met, the 1-1 draw at the Riverside. Just in case people are new to you, just tell them a little bit about you and why on earth you support Middlesbrough.
Well, I suppose it was through geography rather than anything else. I'm from Stockton, which is a town just outside Middlesbrough. I've been following Middlesbrough since sort of 2002. I went to go see my first match, actually. I was looking back at it. It was against Blackburn. We got beat 3-1 at the Riverside.
Oof.
So, yeah, that was my first match. And then, yeah, just followed the team ever since, really.
Okay, so what we're going to do here, obviously, you've been here before, but we're going to do a little bit different, kind of like a mid-season overview for Middlesbrough, kind of talk about, who's been standing out, who's not been stepping up to the plate, that sort of stuff. So we're going to kick it off. First of all, a nice, easy one. Who's been your best player for Middlesbrough this season?
You say an easy one, but it's been such a strange season. Like, people have been coming in and out of the team. I mean, I think Lewis Wing's probably been our best player. He's started really well, and if he carries on the way he does by the end of the season, I mean, he probably will be our best player. He's come from the non-leagues, and he's done really well.
Stepped up to the level of the Championship. Okay, now what about on the flip side of the spectrum? Who's been an absolute shocker this season that you think, why on earth is he still on our books?
Rudy Gestede. I mean, it's got to be said. Whether rumours are true, obviously we had the cup tie against Newport, which didn't go too well. There's been rumours that, things were said from the fans, and he said something back to the fans, and it's just one of those things. Like, I don't have that much against him, to be honest, but he's not been great for us. I think it's just time that everyone cut the losses and sort of moved on. Be best for all parties involved.
It's a shame. We've got fond memories of Rudy, but obviously he chased the cash for Villa. Then he went over from Villa to you guys. So yeah. I don't know if we would offer him back. I don't know if we would take him or not. But anyway, what about who's coming through the ranks of maybe the academy that's maybe broken through to the first team?
I mean, hot debate amongst Borough fans is we got this young winger Tavernier. You might recognise the name. His elder brother plays for Rangers. I mean, he's been great every time he's played. He's done really well. He's bombed on. He's scored a few crucial goals for us, and he's now not even in the matchday squad. And when Pulis has been talking about putting pace and speed into the side, it's just like, well, you've got somebody there, and you're not really using him. And fans would really like to see him. I mean, he's been really good. He's definitely one for the future. I think he signed a long-term contract, so that's good for us.
I did see on some of the match stats, I think he was like your third or fourth top scorer already this season in the league.
Squad, I think he's got 3 this year.
Yeah.
Which I suppose says a lot about Middlesbrough's scoring ability this year.
Okay, so he's probably your most promising. What about your transfer business? How busy have you been, and who's been your sort of standout signing this season?
Really frustrating transfer windows. I think all Middlesbrough fans would agree. Going past quite a few seasons now. I mean, John Obi Mikel, I don't know where that came from, but what a signing he's been. Every game that I've seen him play, he just seems to have so much time and control in that midfield. I mean, he's 31, which, is not that old, but, as they always say, class is permanent. You can just see him, he's not lost a touch. He seems really good.
So he would be your best signing of the window?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, Randolph's good, but that's not really this year, and we haven't done a lot, but definitely Mikel from January, definitely our best signing.
That did come out of the blue. I don't think anyone saw that one coming, but he's definitely class, like you say. Okay, what about your worst signing? Who's been an absolute shambles this season that's come through the doors with the past, since August?
This is a bit of a strange one, because I don't think he's played particularly badly, and he started pretty much every game for us, but we were thinking he was going to get a lot more goals, and that's Aidan Flint. Now, we bought him thinking Tony Pulis set pieces, he's going to score loads of goals for us. He's scored 1 goal so far, and he's missed quite a few sitters, especially recent games. And defensively, he's okay. Like, I think he's pretty decent, but I'd rather have, if he's not scoring the goals, I'd rather just put our other young centre-back Dale Fry, who's been playing right back. makeshift right back. I'd rather have him in the back because I think he's a better player and I think he's going to be needs to be developed.
Right. No, fair play, fair play. Okay, now you mentioned your best players and obviously the best signing, but who is your favourite player for Middlesbrough on the books right now?
George Friend, without a doubt. I mean, he was a bargain when he got in. He's been with us for about 6.5 years now, I think, said the other night. And throughout all that time, consistent, passionate. I mean, he's from Plymouth. He has no ties to the area whatsoever. And you can just tell he loves playing for the shirt. He's not maybe the player he was 2 or 3 years ago, but I'd say he's still one of the best left backs in the division. And at the moment, I feel like he's getting criticised unfairly. Like loads of people saying, we need to get rid of him. It's just like, well, who are you going to bring in?
Right.
I think he's great.
Nope. Yep. Everyone has their favourites. What about someone that we don't want to come across down a dark alley somewhere who might take my legs out?
Danny Ayala, without a shadow of a doubt. 6'3", centre backs. Spanish centre back. You're thinking, he's going to be a bit soft. Not a chance. The game's on the TV at the weekend. I don't know if you're going to watch it. Luckily enough, he got picked up 2 yellow cards the other night and got red carded.
Yep.
He always picks up a yellow card. And yeah, he does put in strong tackles. He's one of those players that you're always glad he's on your team and not the opposition team.
Yep. I did notice he got the big red card yesterday, so he will be out. So
Flint hobbled off as well, so that's our 2 main centre backs.
Ooh, interesting.
Potentially not playing at the weekend.
Opportunity knocks for Rovers, perhaps, but we'll see. Like I said, we've been a bit toothless so far over this past few games. Okay, what about obviously we have a few within Rovers ranks, but who gets a lot of plaudits that you probably think maybe it's a little bit too many? You consider maybe the most overrated?
So he's not with us. Well, he's on loan elsewhere. Matt Braithwaite, who we brought in, and he's just every time he's come in, he's played okay for a couple of games and shown what he can do, but he just doesn't care. He doesn't want to play. Asks for a loan. I mean, fair enough. Last year he wanted to go to the World Cup. Since then he's come back. He's done nothing. Now he's away on loan, and he's scored against. He's in the Spanish league for Leganes, I think. I can't remember the team, but he scored against Real Madrid in the Cup and Barcelona in the league, and he scored another one a few nights ago. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to get rid of him. So the more he scores, the more money we'll get for him. Right.
Okay. What about on the opposite end of that spectrum? Who doesn't get a lot of plaudits? Who does a lot of the hard work and seems to just fade in the background a little bit?
Ryan Shotton, I think when he's been out, because his health hasn't been great this year, but when he's been out, he's shown on the team, and he was bought really as a centre back, but can play that right back role, and that's where he's been playing for us. But he's got a decent crossing in. He's a good player. He works hard, and obviously with Pulis, he's got this long throw, which will be a threat to look out for. He's a good player. I do like him.
Okay. Now you did mention you've been supporting the club since 2002. Who has been your ultimate player for Middlesbrough since the early days, or maybe even someone that's just recently left the club, or whatever? Who's the best you've ever seen?
So I've already mentioned Friend. I really like him. Ledbetter was a really good player for us, who's obviously gone back to Sunderland, and it's been a really big thing that obviously him as a Sunderland born and bred true Mackem fan, come and play for Middlesbrough, captained us, and really passionate. He was a fantastic player for us. Downing the first time round was amazing. The second time maybe hasn't gone the way he would have liked, but he's still, I think, a really classy player. Schwarzer, great, probably the best keeper we've ever had, and some really good moments. And then Janino, really the first time round he was excellent, and I'm sort of caught at the end of him. I can't really decide anywhere between the two, but maybe Grant Ledbetter, just because I don't know. It's that connection of that. He's the fan of the local rivals, but he played really well for us. Shame he had to go.
Yep. Well, I guess he's trying to help them out a little bit, getting back up a division, but we'll see. Okay, if you could swipe somebody from an opposition team, whether it's at Leeds or Ipswich or even in the middle, maybe Bristol City or something like that, who would you swipe? One player.
Well, we'll leave the Leeds players where they are because we don't want them lot. But Bowen, definitely Bowen from Hull. He seems really good. 2 seasons now. that right wing position. He's getting a lot of goals. It's been a bit of a weak spot for Middlesbrough probably since Adoma left and Adana at the end of this year. He'd be good, and obviously Bradley Dack, we talked about it before. I mean, he'd be really good for Middlesbrough, linking that the midfield to the attack.
Okay. We obviously local rivalries aside, perhaps, but who is the team that you keep an eye on for the results and hope that they lose? Who's the team that you hate the most in the league?
I mean, who doesn't hate Leeds? I mean, come on. I mean, they probably are our local rivals. I was going to say that when I saw the question, I was like, I think hate's a strong word. I don't like this hating rivalry and sort of stuff, but my thing is, I don't like clubs who were great back in the day and the fans, as soon as any little bit of glory comes back, start shouting about it, and it's just like Leeds are the stereotypical team for that.
That is, yeah. It's what I call arrogance. Yes, they are very arrogant about it, and I like to see them choke right now at the end and stumble in the playoffs and get beat.
I respect the history and done certain things, but it's. Nah, it's just Leeds, isn't it?
I know it, yeah. I'm with you. Okay, so here it is. We're going straight to the money question now. Final score. Obviously, you guys pushing for top 6 still. We're just languishing in the middle of the table now. What's the final score going to be on Sunday?
Well, I wrote down 2-0 originally, but then I'm thinking with with Flint and Ayala possibly out, 2 main centre-backs. Is he going to switch it up? Don't know. It could be a tight one. We've been playing well, better away from home. We don't score that many. 1-0, 1-0 to either team. Can't really call it.
Okay, so tight one. You suggest. I'll go with that. I think it's quite even, just because of we're at home and I don't know. We've been playing poor, but I think we need to step it up now.
I still think you can sneak into the playoffs. No one's doing great.
I know, possibly we're chasing number 6 spot. That is it, because I think 5 and above is quite a bit away. It's like dreamland right now. You guys are still you could probably break into that top 5, but I think realistically we had to win yesterday and on Sunday to be back in it.
Keep saying though, there's a third left of the season.
There is. Yeah, it's true. Okay, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see where we are. And speaking of that, hopefully we can get some reaction from you after the game.
Yes, I'll be not working Sunday, hopefully, so I'll be able to watch the game.
Awesome.
And soon as full time goes in, I'll let you know.
Win, lose or draw, because I didn't get the Reading guy. Yes, I thought I'd get him because he must have been over the moon, but I don't know. But anyway, until then, we're going to let you get out of here.
Cheers, thanks.
Thanks, John. Now, over the years, a number of players have played for both Blackburn Rovers and Middlesbrough. Here are 3 of them. This is a special edition episode of Play for Both, as all 3 of these players that I'm about to show you today could feature this Sunday in the match between Rovers and Borough. Kicking it off with this guy, Big Dick Small Word, that's right, did represent Middlesbrough for a period, but now he rocks the blue and white halves, and he could be in the starting 11 come Sunday. Now about this guy, Jason Lautweiler, that's right, look at him with his long flowing locks back in his Middlesbrough days, and he could feature probably from the bench, at least have his face on the bench, as he still represents Blackburn Rovers for the foreseeable future. Well, for this season anyway. I think his contract is up, and we'll see. Here's the Mountie, of course, and they're wrapping it up. It is Big DG, Danny Graham. Scored a few goals for Borough, did he? I'm not too sure if it was Borough or Hull that he had a really prominent spell with, but who cares? He is now rocking the blue and white halves for Blackburn Rovers, and hopefully he can score against his old club this weekend. Anyway, if you want to check out a full list of all the players that have played for both Blackburn Rovers and Middlesbrough, head over to my WordPress site. Details in that bad boy in your description below. I've heard a little bit of what I've had to say about the match. Now what you really want to hear is what Cast the Cat has predicted for the outcome of the Blackburn Rovers Middlesbrough game. Here she comes right about now. much all I've got for you today, folks. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a good old thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe. We'll keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We're going to all hear under one roof. And also, the next time you will see me in this, guys, will be an instant match review shortly after the final whistle on Sunday. Hopefully it will be with a big smile on my face, as all will be forgiven and Rovers will be happy with a victory. But we'll have to wait and see. Let me hear your thoughts and opinions about the starting lineups, my predicted starting lineups, what you think is going to happen this weekend up against Middlesbrough. Can we bounce back and get ourselves our first win in a whole long time? It feels like forever. It's not that long ago, but it feels like forever. Obviously, the games have come thick and fast. That's why it makes it feel so long. But yeah, it's a definitely winnable one. I've got a feeling a somber long is going to bite us in the backside on this one. When the rumours were circulating about him possibly coming to Rovers, I got very excited. I think he is a class Championship striker. I don't know what I think. Maybe obviously the wages are freaky, but if you're paying the wages, play the man. Play the man. He can score you goals, but don't play him this weekend. Do not play him this weekend. It's gonna be one of those. I think he's gonna come and haunt us if he does play. He scored against us in the game against Middlesbrough at Riverside, in a game that they were down 10 men for a huge majority of it. So hopefully we can get the better of them on our own patch. I really want to see Brereton get a first goal. So let's have our fingers and toes crossed to make that happen and make us get the big fat win. Anyway, I'm gonna let you get out of it until I see you again. Thumbs up, subscribe. Come on, Rovers!
Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.